my Reformation creed for the Reformed philosophical movement is that number one, faith itself is philosophical. Number two, philosophy itself requires faith. Number three, the reason why there are so many religions and there are so many denominations within one religion is because of the philosophical difference. Now I'm going to explain the creed number one. Faith itself is philosophical. Why? Because if you think about faith, which deity do you have faith on? That's a matter of metaphysics. What's afterlife? The information about soul or spirit, that's metaphysics too. And what should I do with my own faith? That's ethics. And how do I know my faith is true? That is epistemology, and there are more. For example, logical analysis and linguistic analysis on scriptures. And go to number two. Creed number two is philosophy itself requires faith. Even if we talk about extreme atheism, extreme empiricism, and so on, they require faith. For example, extreme empiricism. How do I know that their senses are reliable? For example, how do I know that their eyesight is reliable to provide correct observation? And same as their hearing, their feelings, and so on. So that's a lot of faith. If you think about extreme skepticism, so that would be skeptic on skeptic on skeptic, and so on. So and it goes on, and ultimately there is something left there as certain information and knowledge. The certainty is there, so it still requires faith. And number three, the reason why there are so many denominations or religion is because of the philosophical difference. I would use Christianity as an example. So in my town there are about 7 churches. 7 churches for a town with about several thousand people. And then there are so many denominations within Christianity. But I try to sum it up. The difference is philosophical. For example, certain churches believe that God is a Trinity, and certain churches believe non-Trinitarian, and also what's afterlife is different. For example, the Seventh-day Adventists may not believe that the story of rich man and Lazarus is literal, whereas many other churches believe that those afterlife story is literal. So that's an example of metaphysics. And then ethics. Certain churches believe that homosexuality is something that they can also be tolerated with, and certain churches don't. And certain churches believe that infant baptism is wrong, and that's a matter of ethics. And then epistemology. For example, I find the Reformed traditions focus more on reasoning and academic research, whereas certain churches such as the Pentecostal and so on, and charismatic, they tend to focus more on feeling and certain kind of funny vision and feeling. So that's a difference in epistemology. Thanks very much for listening. Please subscribe and check out more of my other videos.